Hey comic lovers, EMoney and the old man with you again, here for another episode of Back Issues. We got a lot of cool stuff going on today. We have some new stuff to show you. We have some entertainment news to share with you, and we have our comic book reviews coming up.
What is this thing?
Oh, you want to know what this is? You guys want to know too, right? Well, some of you connoisseurs might recognize this part as the Outer Space Vodka Chrome bottle.
There's such a thing.
I mean, I didn't know that until this last weekend, but apparently so.
So Outer Space is a brand of vodka.
Apparently so. But also, you know, with the added bottom here, it serves as a trophy. And this is my trophy for taking first place at Concave 42's cosplay contest this past weekend.
So you're saying they've done that 42 times?
Yes.
Huh.
So I entered the cosplay contest this past Saturday, and what was I dressed as, you ask? I dressed up as the 7th Doctor from Doctor Who. And it was originally played by Sylvester McCoy in the classic Doctor Who series. And you know, I had a lot of really cool competition. We had characters from comic books and video games and movies. There was a young lady dressed as Raven from Teen Titans. There was Chun-Li from Street Fighter. Had a guy dressed up as Neo from The Matrix. A lot of really cool costumes, but you know
but you won.
The judges deemed me the winner
As a really old Doctor Who character.
Yes.
I got to talk to the judges.
You shut your mouth.
Hell?
Yeah. So had a lot of really fun, had a lot of fun doing that character, and you know, I tried to put myself in the role, you know, walking around with the umbrella, and I actually watched a few episodes of the classic Doctor Who, trying to mimic Sylvester McCoy's movements in it. So I really committed to the part. So I look forward.
I need you to do something for me when you edit this.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to put big neon flashing words across your chest.
Okay, if you're gonna say. Okay, you really think they need the flashing lights to know that?
Well, true, but you know, it would be nice just to do it. It'd be funny.
Well, I look forward to doing that cosplay at future conventions, and I think I'm going to enjoy some of my prize a little later on.
Didn't you have another costume that you took?
Oh, yeah, I took my Malcolm Reynolds costume.
Well, who's Malcolm Reynolds, they're probably wondering.
Well, Malcolm Reynolds is Nathan Fillion's character from the classic short-lived sci-fi series Firefly.
It's only short-lived because that idiot canceled the show.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid woman.
Yep. So I was hosting trivia on Friday night.
Hang on.
And you're right, you calm? Okay.
Mm.
I hosted trivia Friday night with some cosplayers who were dressed as Slave Leia from Star Wars. So yes, they were.
Okay.
I told them that if anybody asks why you were hanging out with Malcolm instead of Han, well, you can just tell them that you traded Han in for a big damn hero. Okay, so that was my weekend, and had a lot of fun. So like I said, we got a lot of cool stuff to talk about this episode, so let's get into it. Yes, it is I, the Doctor, defender of the laws of time, protector of Gallifrey, and I call upon all of you to subscribe and enjoy.
Oh, it's true. It's true.
All right, so this is gonna stick around for one more segment at least. So before we get started today, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications, give us a thumbs up, and if you like, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think of some of these stories I'm about to share with you, or you can give your comic book opinions or recommendations or whatever it is you want to talk about.
Do I get to tell you what I think about the stuff you're about to tell us?
Yeah. I mean, if you know, I didn't want you to share your opinion, I'd still be doing EMoney's reviews.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Okay. In a recent interview with Wolverine actor Hugh Jackman, it has a lot of fans asking, will we see multiple variants of Wolverine in Deadpool 3? Well, in an interview with Jackman and...
why would we see multiple variants?
Well, In an interview with Jackman concerning Deadpool 3, Jackman said, "Yes, it will be a dual role. Ryan and I have been friends for 20 years. We have a lot of fun together, and we're filming this summer."
Why is it a dual role?
I don't know.
We're going to do some multiverse bullshit?
Well, a lot of fans are speculating that Jackman might finally don the classic blue and yellow Wolverine outfit as one of these variants. Which, obviously would be a lot of fun. I think it would be fun for Jackman and fun for the fans to finally see.
Get Jackman on the phone.
So Deadpool 3 is expected to start filming in May this year. And the article also went on to speculate some things about the plot line for Deadpool 3.
No.
But that's just too spoilery. So
nope.
Yeah. Don't want to
Nope.
jump into all that.
Nope.
Needless to say though, I'm excited.
You're easily excited.
That is true. Okay, so you remember, guys, last week the old man and I gave our review of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
We did.
And you guys have heard, some of the things that have been going on concerning the box office in the movie. Audience, at least initially really seemed to like it. It had like an 84% score on Rotten Tomatoes versus the 48% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. And it was only the second of two films in the MCU to get a rotten score on Rotten Tomatoes. Neither of those films is Thor: Love and Thunder.
Well, that's because, never mind.
So I don't get that. I mean, Thor: Love and Thunder should be at near or at the bottom of the MCU movies.
Terrible.
Yeah. Anyways, so Jeff Loveless, the writer for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, has some things to say about the largely negative critics' reviews for the film. To be honest, those reviews took me by surprise. I was in a pretty low spot. Those were not good reviews, and I was like, what the blank. I'm really proud of what I wrote for Jonathan Majors and Michelle Pfeiffer. He continued, I thought that was good stuff, and so I was just despondent. I was really sad about it. Well then, Loveless said that attending a public screening of the movie during opening weekend cheered him up a bit. Listening to the audience reactions, he's like, damn, no, the reviews are wrong. I'm right. MODOK is great. I'm pretty happy with it overall, and I think I learned how to take a punch this week. And now that I learned that it's not too bad, I can just get on with making things.
MODOK was not great.
I mean, some people, they just want to take the humor as is, and they don't want to, dissect, how good the character is or how accurate the character is. So
I don't care if he's accurate or not. Well, I guess I do.
Yeah.
I guess ultimately that's my problem with it. They made him comic relief.
Mm-hmm. So Loveless is currently working on the script for Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, which, now after seeing reviews for Quantumania has a lot of fans worried. So we'll see how well that pans out for both the MCU and for Loveless. All right, and finally, on a lighter note, James Gunn has yet to announce who will be the new Superman in the new DCU. Well, now, one A-list actor has thrown his hat into the ring. None other than Mr. Jack Black recently posted his audition tape to social media, demonstrating how he would look if Gunn would allow him to don the red and blue. And we're gonna take a little cut. We're gonna take a little cut here while I show the video to the old man. Okay?
Yeah, put him on. Hey, Jack. What the? What are you thinking? Yeah, I'll do lunch with you. Oh yeah, stupid. Yeah, bye.
Oh, no way. What's up, Jamie Gun? I was just taking a nap ski. No, dude, I can't. I've already played all the superheroes. I know I'd be incredible. All right, God damn it, I'll see you in a minute. Yeah! Laser vision.
faster. Faster, Dad.
Well, after posting that video, Gunn must have been upset about the spoiler-filled video because he commented, "I thought we agreed to save this news for Comic-Con." So remember I told you about the scrapped Green Lantern Jack Black project back in the 90s and early 2000s? Well, maybe this could be Jack Black's big comeback to the superhero genre.
Comeback with School of Rock too. I mean, gee, come on.
All right, so that's going to do it for entertainment news. Now, let's get into this week's comic reviews.
Please.
All right, first up in our mentions this week, we have 2 mentions.
All right, first one is The Amazing Spider-Man number 20.
All right, so this issue, this is one of 2 issues we're going to be talking about today that deal with a date from hell from a couple of superheroes.
I had a few of those in my time.
With superheroes?
No.
Just dates from hell?
Dates from Hell.
Okay. I know I had at least one. Okay. Amazing Spider-Man number 20. So Peter and Felicia were on their way to a spa retreat for the weekend when they get sidetracked by some low-rent supervillains. Basically what's happened is a bunch of rich kids have managed to come upon some rogues technology. Technology being Doc Ock's arms, Vulture's wings, Green Goblin's glider and pumpkins.
Sinister Six stuff.
Yeah. So they have to work to subdue these guys. Now, Spider-Man and Black Cat, they've been at this for a long time. So it wouldn't be too much of a problem to take care of these amateurs. The problem that takes so long is the numbers. There's a couple of them.
I think there's 6 of them.
Yes. So during this whole time, an actual villain by the name of Bunny, she's one of Spider-Man's new rogues, is having to deal with this problem because she actually is the one who gave these kids these powers and then they turned on her. So she's trying to have a little girl talk with Black Cat at the time. And so you and the Spider, and Black Cat's like, not up for discussion. Like, okay, I'm just saying you could do better. And then once all the villains are wrapped up, I like this conversation they have here where Bunny says in front of Spider-Man, "I still think you can do better." And to which Black Cat says, "I'm aware." And then Spider-Man's like, "Wait, you're aware that she thinks you can do better, or you're aware that you can do better?" And Black Cat responds, "Yes." Peter, I think I'd just leave that one alone. I mean, a good man always knows that his woman can do better, and you're lucky to have her. Is, how it should be, I think. So the date continues, and they try to salvage what little they can. And also, good old Peter comes
Salvage.
What did I say?
Savage.
Sorry, salvage what they can of the date. And also, Peter has an epiphany concerning one of his exes. I bet you guys know which one. And I think it was good growth for Peter. So Amazing Spider-Man number 20, not the best artwork. It wasn't like,
No, I didn't like it at all.
it wasn't horrible, but, could have been better.
I thought it was substandard.
Amazing Spider-Man number 20 ends up with 3 shields out of 5.
All right, next up.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to say it, or should I say it?
You say it.
Okay. We have a new Superman title starting with number 1.
Well, it's new because it's Superman.
Right. This is Dawn of DC's Superman number 1. All right, so in this issue, it starts off, Superman, he doing what he do, battling a supervillain over the skies of Metropolis, this time in the form of Livewire. And he's battling her, and apparently Superman is able to hear what Lex is saying in prison. And what's more, Lex knows that he can hear him. And so Lex is trying to give him all this advice about how to end the battle as quickly as possible, while Superman is trying to shut him out.
Well, evidently, he's always been able to focus on certain individuals.
Right.
Lex obviously would be somebody he would pay close attention to.
Right, and I'll get to the specifics of that in just a second here. So, not taking Lex's advice, he eventually subdues Livewire, and apparently what had happened was Livewire crashed the party of her ex-employer after she had been fired, and decided to ruin her special day. So once Livewire is subdued, Superman overhears the bride and groom talking and saying, "The efficient ran away and quit. Should we just cancel?" Well, Superman says, "Well, I think this is a job for Superman." And so apparently Superman is ordained and officiates their wedding for him.
I mean, if the captain of a ship can marry people, then by God, Superman should be able to also.
Right. So the next issue, you see all these Polaroids of the wedding of Superman officiating, and apparently he stuck around for the reception too.
Damn well better.
Yeah. So you've seen these YouTube videos of celebrities crashing receptions or wedding shoots and different things like that, which is really super cool for the bride and groom. I would say this would be pretty damn cool. Move over Tom Hanks.
I mean, Superman at your wedding.
Right?
Wowza.
So, like I said, we learn that Superman has been trying to block out Lex's words, and apparently he's been training his hearing for years to keep an extra focus on certain people. Most of them to protect them, like John, his son, Lois, his parents, Bruce. But with Lex, he actually wants to keep an ear on him for trouble. And now that Lex has learned this about him, he keeps running commentary on everything Superman is doing, if he knows what's going on. Then, in an unexpected move, Superman finds out that LexCorp has been renamed Supercorp, and Mercy is the new CEO of Supercorp, and now they're saying that they want to help Superman in all of his problems and patrols and whatever else he may need help with.
I don't trust it.
Oh, absolutely not. Doesn't know what Lex is up to, but he knows it's no good. So it was surprisingly interesting, them doing this new story, and we're going to stick with it for a little longer and see if they can keep up the potential.
Yeah, we haven't been getting Superman for a long time, but we'll give this new one a shot, see how it goes.
So Superman #1 from Dawn of DC ends up with
3.5 after we rounded it up.
3.5 rounded up.
All right, so ready for the top 4 this week?
Yep, we have a top 4.
All right. All right. So, from Image, a new book that I just got on a whim. Didn't know anything about it. I flipped through it. I thought the artwork was not bad. It was pretty good. And it's a flip book, which is kind of interesting. So I picked it up. Glad I did.
Okay, so from Image Comics, Local Man #1. So if any of you remember some of the early Image superhero comics from the 90s, like for example Wildcats, that was an Image team, right? Well, this is supposed to be reminiscent of those days, or at least the backstory is.
And that cover looks like an old Image.
Back cover, Local Man looks like old school Image. Well, in the regular story, a ex-superhero by the name of, what's his name, Crosshair or Crossjack? Yeah, Crossjack. Crossjack is going back home to his Midwestern town, and he's not really given a hero's welcome. His parents, while they do, let him move back in with them, they don't seem really
not too happy.
Yeah, crazy wild about it. So then he, goes into town, and the locals are even colder to him.
He did something.
Yeah. Apparently, LoJack's powers, by the way, are kind of like Bullseye. He can't seem to miss. And also, if you look at his superhero costume, he carries a shield around like Captain America. So he's in the bar minding his own business when all of a sudden one of his old supervillains burst into the bar, and apparently they want to pick a fight with Jack. So he subdues the criminal, and he gets thrown out of the bar for his troubles. I mean, man was defending himself, right?
Would seem so.
I mean, most people, I guess, would run away if they saw a supervillain charging in on them, but, Jack's not most people. Well, then, after about an hour or so, he gets a visit from his old teammates. I think the group is called Third Gen. And he's like, guys, I already took care of the villain. You don't have to worry. And instead of, taking the villain or whatever, they serve him with a lawsuit. And they say, as per your contract termination, you aren't allowed to use any shield. And he's like, it was a garbage can lid or shield-like object. And his name, Crossjack, is copyrighted intellectual property of Third Gen Enterprises. And listen to what else he can't do. So, other violations of said contract include solving crimes, battling superhuman villains, non-superhuman villains, or engaging in large-scale events against cosmic or otherwise.
I mean, it sounds like you can't even rescue a cat in a tree.
I mean, he can't even, a lot of superheroes, when they retire, Dick Grayson, he was a cop for a while, right? Mm-hmm. He can't even do that, as per his contract termination. So, yeah, he really tying his hands here. Well,
I want to know what he did.
Yeah, right? Well, as the story wraps up, you find out that there may be even more going on than Jack realizes here, because there may be a third party, watching his every move. So, Local Man, number 1, interesting start. We'll see how it goes, and we're going to put that at our number 4 spot.
With 3.5.
3.5 out of 5.
All right, next up, we have yet another of these Batman One Bad Day books. This one features Clayface.
Okay. So in this issue, it starts off, I think what it was, Clayface, he's been around for a couple years. Batman knew who he was. So he decides to reinvent himself. He moves out to L.A., and he assumes a new identity, which, being Clayface, he can do that. But the way, I don't know if this has always been true about Clayface, but in this version, it seems like in order for him to appear as a new person, he would have to kill them, right?
That's not a version of Clayface I'm familiar with.
Does he have to, make physical contact with them at least?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, well, in order for him to assume this new guy's identity, you figure, he would have had to have killed him to get him out of the way. So, Clayface, you may know, he was an actor before his accident. So now he's wanting to start from the ground up and start a whole new career. And he starts off, he's, doing waitering jobs as, aspiring actors do. And he gets this big audition. And he's got a buddy who's also up for the same audition. Well, the director, producer, whoever, casting director, I guess would be the person doing that, decided that he's too serious in the role. And he can't, bring a lighter tone to the character. So then his buddy gets the part.
Who is a comedian.
Right. So then he's like, well, I'm going to take your place. So he decides he's going to kill this guy and then assume his identity. And then, by the way, side note, he delivers the scene exactly as he did when he was himself, or at least his
Not
new.
the way that the other guy would have
Right.
done it.
So that causes problems. And this whole thing reminded me of an episode of Black Mirror. In the episode of Black Mirror, they had this technology where it's like you could see the last few images of a person's life before they died or something like that. So this woman, she killed somebody, and then she found out that there was a witness to that crime, so then she has to kill that person. Well, then what if somebody witnessed her kill this other person? And it's like you just have to keep on killing people until eventually you run out of witnesses or you get caught.
So Clayface definitely gets into a pattern here.
Right. So it's like, this guy, stole his part, so I'm going to kill him and take his place. And then when he tries to deliver the part, the director, doesn't like the way he does it, so he tries to fire him. So then he's like, well, I'm going to kill the director, then I'm going to take his place, and then I'll do the scene the way I want to do it. But then the studio head, who is the boss of the director, he gets in the director's face.
It just keeps on going.
It keeps going up and up and up. Until finally, you kill enough people like this, you're going to attract someone's attention. You know who that person is?
Oh, I do.
The big bad bat. So, you had to have made noise for yourself if, Batman tracked you all the way from Gotham to L.A. So, Clayface tries to deliver this big sob story about how, it's not fair, it's my time, and, Batman's just not having any of it. So, I would put this probably as slightly above the middle of all of the One Bad Day stories we've read so far. The old man didn't like it as much as I did.
No, I would put it in the bottom half.
The bottom middle? Or the bottom?
Maybe in the bottom half.
Ah, wow. Okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's my connection to the film business that made me, connect with it a little bit more. I don't know. But anyways, Clayface, One Bad Day, number 1, ends up at our number 3 spot with
3.5.
3.5 out of 5.
Next up, in our number 2 spot, the other Bad Date book you talked about, Batman Superman World's Finest, number 12.
Yeah, said I was going to do 2 Date from Hell stories here. Now, the first one, Spider-Man and Black Cat, it was due to outside influences that were making it the Date from Hell. This one, while there are some outside influences that aren't helping, but it's largely them that are making it a horrible date.
Yeah, these two should not be on a date.
All right, so starts off, we find out how they ended up dating in the first place. So Supergirl and Robin, Dick Grayson, met.
This takes place before Grayson became Nightwing.
Right. So they met on a mission one time, and Supergirl was impressed with how well a kid with no superpowers is able to handle himself in these situations. So she asked him out. So they're getting ready for the date, and Supergirl, or should I say Kara, shows up to the date, and she sees Robin, not Dick Grayson, sitting at the table waiting for her.
Full costume.
Right. So she's like, oh, well, geez. So she, changes into her Supergirl costume. And, she's like, I didn't know we were doing this in costume. And, it's like, hey, we were dressed up like this when we made the date. I figure we should do the date like it. And plus, it gives people something to talk about on the way home. Well, it seems like Dick still enjoys the spotlight from his circus days. So I think Dick was the biggest problem with the date, but Kara, she said a few choice things too. She pays a compliment to the waiter, and then Dick gets this jealous look on his face. That part's Dick's fault. I'm not saying Kara can't compliment somebody without expecting to get jealous. And then they have this whole back and forth about who's going to pay for the date, and Dick's like, hey, I'm rich, I can pay for the date, it's no problem.
Well, you're rich, but if you don't bring your wallet,
there's another problem coming up. And Dick comes off as braggy, and then Kara goes off on a rant about
all the different
kryptonites. And then an emergency is happening outside, a traffic accident involving a monkey and a bunch of bowling balls. That's a whole long story. And what really surprised me about that part was Robin noticed what was going on outside before she did. You think a crash with a bunch of bowling balls and a screaming monkey, you think Supergirl would have heard that.
Yep.
So they have to, put the day on hold for a second while they get everybody out of harm's way. And then she finds out that he dropped his wallet, didn't have cash, and he obviously can't use a credit card because he doesn't have credit cards in Robin's name. So then she has to pay for it. And the two of them are reminiscing about this whole date to Superman and Batman, and they decide that, you know, Supergirl doesn't like the person she is when she's with Robin. You know, she makes herself feel intolerant, judgmental, and then she feels ashamed, then she gets angry, and they just decide you can't force chemistry.
No, and there is none there.
No. So, Batman, Superman, World's Finest, number 12. You know, if you're on the dating scene still like I am, you know, this might offer you some good advice about things. That's our number 2 comic book with...
I'm sorry, 4 shields after we rounded it up.
4 shields rounded up.
Let me give you some dating advice.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go as Doctor Who.
Aww. Well, now you just ruined everything.
Well, at any rate. All right, number 1 spot, book that's been in the top 3 many times. And I'm starting to appreciate this team of Jeff Johns and Gary Frank.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the story's great, the artwork's great. They just need to do more books. Junkyard Joe, number 5, gets number 1 with us.
Yeah. All right, so if you've been following Junkyard Joe, you know, he's found his old war buddy, and who also made a comic strip about him for years in the style of the Peanuts gang. Well, it starts off with somebody who is claiming to be the rightful owner of Joe, and he's...
Wouldn't that be the U.S. military?
You'd think so. And you know, he's actually wearing a mask that's reminiscent of Joe.
Yeah, I thought he was a robot.
Right. So him and 2 of his thugs have kidnapped the Army vet buddy's neighbor's kids, and you know, they're holding them hostage. Well, as soon as they walk in the door and Joe sees what's going on, he ain't having any of that.
Nope.
And what happens next is a classic example of one of my movieisms called failure to finish. We were just talking about this on The Last of Us this past week,
Yep.
where they had the infected...
on the ground.
Yeah, had them down on the ground, and they decide to run instead of, you know, walk up and, you know, empty your clip into them, you know? So Joe knocks them all down. They're unconscious for a few minutes. He takes all their guns and, you know, crunches them like Superman, and then his buddy tells him, you know, take the kids and get out of here. It's like, okay, if you're not... Even if you're not a fan of killing these guys, you should at least...
Off, they were putting kids in the path of danger.
Right.
I mean, kill them.
Yeah. I mean, and even if you're not going to do that, you know, tie them up or something. Why are you going to run away? You know, tie them up, call 911. So, yeah, that's failure to finish. So it continues with them being chased through the woods and Joe working to protect the kids. And, you know, Joe is still suffering from PTSD, so he may have put some other people in harm's way who probably didn't deserve it, but, you know, that's just Joe working through some stuff. So I think it's going to pick up in the next issue with Joe protecting the kids while the other 3 guys who they didn't kill looking for them through the woods. Junkyard Joe number 5, our number 1 pick for this week with 4 shields out of 5. All right, so what's coming up this week, old man?
All right. This week, pretty good sized week. We've got Cosmic Ghost Rider number 1.
Mm-hmm.
The story about how Frank Castle becomes Ghost Rider.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So that's kind of interesting.
You said Cosmic Ghost Rider?
Yes.
I was thinking something involving Silver Surfer in that, but okay.
No. All right. The Lazarus Planet story, I think, gets wrapped up, and Batman versus Robin number 5. It started with Batman versus Robin, so I think it's going to end there too. Our boy Alex Ross.
Mm-hmm.
He did those timeless variants where you had a white background and, you know, just a full virgin panel of various heroes. And he did that for, I think, a good part of the summer. So Alex is back. This time it's villains.
Okay.
So his first timeless variant is in Hallows Eve from Marvel number 1. I picked up the who was that one? That one was, I don't remember who. Green Goblin.
Okay.
And the other one that came out this week was Jennifer Lawrence played her in the X-Men movie.
Mystique?
Mystique. And the book is Rogue and Gambit #1.
Okay. All right, so all that coming out. Get them at your local comic book shop right now. All right, now let's go to some exciting stuff happening with EMoney and the Old Man in the coming weeks and days. All right, so this week, and I'm really excited, the Old Man and I have acquired a new collection of toys. We made a deal this past week, and we have 2 bins full of brand new merchandise. I haven't even gone through pricing them yet. I'm really excited to get started.
He's itching to.
Yeah, I'm digging it. So we're gonna have new stuff for our Whatnot auction this Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and all kinds of new categories to introduce into our inventory. If you're a regular of our shows, then you'll see all new stuff that in categories you've never seen before. So it's gonna be a lot of fun doing that. And also we're gonna have some stuff for our pop-up shop this spring, and that's not too far off. That's like what, 2 months away?
Yeah, 2 months away.
Yeah, so we're gearing up for that, and I'm so glad that we're finally getting some new inventory, because we've had a really big upsurge of comic book inventory in our off season, but we haven't had a whole lot in the way of toys since our original source dried up, and we've been selling that off little by little every week on Whatnot.
Well, you say dried up as if
I mean, we still got
it all.
Yeah, I mean, we still got plenty of totes in our storage unit, but still, it's been like kind of trickling away. So excited to have all this new stuff in the inventory.
And in a couple of days, we're actually going to look at a collection that's both comic books and toys, and that could be a pretty major deal.
Yeah. So
we'll see.
I'm going to show you guys a few things that we're going to be putting in this week's Whatnot auction, and really exciting. So you guys may know the Old Man and I don't typically do Funko Pops because, I mean,
the market is
it's so oversaturated.
Saturated,
Yeah. I mean, you have guys, if you scroll down on my Whatnot at least, scroll down to near the bottom of all the streaming things that are going on in the moment, and there's like, dozen or more different guys all selling pop stuff.
Any time of the day or night.
Yeah. Well, with this deal, it wasn't all pop figures, but we ended up getting a few with the deal. And one of the ones we're going to have in this week's auction is Deadpool from, actually it's just Deadpool, not from the movie specifically. I think, it has, okay, first appearance Deadpool. That's what it says on the back here. So, have that there. I know a lot of people love Deadpool. Deadpool's really hot right now, especially with the Deadpool 3 coming out. So we're going to have that. And then we got a lot of Batman stuff with this new collection.
Lots of Batman.
Yeah. So, and you know what is a guaranteed winner for most people? Batman and Lego. So here we have sort of an oddball thing. This is so on this side, it is a cowl of Batman from the classic Adam West Batman series in Lego form. So, makes for a pretty interesting project.
I actually got a couple more Lego sets too.
Yeah, and a few Batman and a few Star Wars. So, be a good inventory to go through. And then we got a lot of new die cast, and usually the Old Man and I was like, we're up to our knees in die cast already, but they came with the deal. One of the cooler ones,
this one's kind of nice,
in my opinion and Old Man's opinion, is the Metals diecast Batmobile and Batman diecast here, and this one being from the 1989 Batman movie. So, yeah, got it. So we have these and a whole lot more that are going to be in our Whatnot auction this coming Sunday, and we're going to have a lot more in the future for auctions and at our pop-up shop this spring. So come join us for all that.
We need to expand my garage.
Yeah, probably. All right, so that does it for the Whatnot items. As soon as we wrap up here, I'm going to get started on the pricing. So other announcements, be sure to tune in later today or maybe later this week for our new reaction video for The Mandalorian Season 3. We're working on The Last of Us reaction video, so we're doubling up on our Pedro Pascal reaction videos for a few weeks as Last of Us wraps up and Mandalorian is just getting started. So sure to do that. And, New Year's resolutions, guys. So I told you guys I went to Concave 42 this past weekend. And
the whole weekend.
Yeah. So I was a little naughty, and I enjoyed myself. I was on vacation, so you know what? And didn't exercise for the weekend.
You didn't weigh in, did you?
I did not weigh in. I'm afraid to jump on the scale right now, so I'm gonna let it ride for a week.
Next week I want to hear the numbers,
and then I'll come back to it. And same reason why I don't have anything to report on the screenplay right now, because I was on vacation.
Slacker.
I know. I'm gonna
slacker.
Need to get on it. All right, guys. So that is gonna wrap up today's show, and looking forward to the coming days and weeks. And hope you guys will stay with us. We'll see you on the next one. Excelsior.
True believers, we're having fun now.
Mm-hmm.